You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight.
Hello, I'm Laura Painter. You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight. President Trump signed an executive order to dismantle the U.S. Department of Education, what it means for local educators and students. Then, California now considering an alternative to the gas tax, paying per mile. ABC10 Plus Tonight starts right now. President Trump today signing an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education.
We're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs.
The administration says U.S. schools are failing, but the Department of Education does not administer curriculum or create lessons or set requirements for enrollment and graduation. Critics say this move will cut public education funding and hurt millions of low-income students and those with disabilities. But the White House says the department will not totally shut down. Instead, it's facing a major downsizing.
And this move was months in the making and a campaign promise fulfilled.
ABC 10's Devin Truby is live at the California Department of Education with more on what this means for local students. Devin.
That's right, Chris. We are here at the California Department of Education, where earlier today we spoke with officials about their concerns.
Eliminating the federal Department of Education once and for all.
President Trump signing an executive order dismantling the U.S. Department of Education, calling it wasteful and returning power to the states.
Pell Grants, Title I funding, resources for children with disabilities and special needs will be preserved in full and redistributed to various other agencies and departments that will take very good care of them.
With its workforce cut in half, the White House said earlier this week the department would continue to handle federal student loans.
It's just going to take away all of the accountability and oversight that the federal government engages in.
ABC 10 took a closer look at what this means for California. According to the California Budget and Policy Center, all of K-12 schools get a total of $8 billion in federal funding. Higher education gets a total of $7 billion.
Any of that funding would require action from Congress because Congress created those programs. So definitely in the short term, they're protected, but in the long term, it definitely it's an area for concern. Let's think about that. The closing of the Department of Education is also related to kind of a long history of Republican administrations to try to move money away from public schools and into private schools.
Funds go towards disadvantaged, disabled, and low-income students at the college level. This includes research funding, work study, and more.
By engaging in mass layoffs, that is having a real impact on students, even if the funds are not being taken away.
Trump says moving forward, he foresees states handling education in sections broken down amongst big counties. Trump says this move will cut education spending in half.
Well, believe it or not, the Department of Education's actually been around since 1867 under President Johnson, but the department as we know it today, implemented by Congress and a cabinet member with its federal funding, well, that didn't happen until 1980 under President Carter, which is why Trump can't fully dismantle and get rid of the department without the approval of Congress. Reporting live in Sacramento, Devin Truby, ABC 10.
At this time, still a lot of moving parts, but sounds like, Devin, a lot at stake here, potentially big impacts for money and jobs here in California. Keep us posted, Devin. Thank you. Meanwhile, more California leaders are responding tonight to the executive order. Governor Gavin Newsom sent a statement saying, quote, "This overreach needs to be rejected immediately by a co-equal branch of government. Or was Congress eliminated by this executive order too?" End quote. Now, Attorney General Rob Bonta also slamming President Trump's order, saying in part, quote, "My office will be looking at what this executive order actually does, not what the president says it will do. We will be monitoring closely to see how the president's instructions to Education Secretary McMahon translate into concrete actions." Remember, on the ABC10 Plus TV streaming app, you can watch more of President Trump's announcement on the Department of Education. The ABC10 Plus streaming app is free to download on your TV.
Right now, Californians pay the nation's highest state gas tax, currently sitting at about 60 cents per gallon. But an alternative could be on the horizon with more electric vehicles hitting the roads. The state is studying whether to switch to charging all drivers per mile. ABC10's Becca Habegger joins us now. Becca, we understand Caltrans is calling this the California road charge, right?
Yeah, Alex, you and we had a lot of questions this morning when we discussed this in our editorial meeting, like how would the state know how much each person drives? Well, Caltrans is still studying that and more, but we can get a sense of what they're considering. If you put gas in your vehicle, then you know that all too painful price at the pump. It's one reason why some people are switching to gasless electric vehicles or zero-emission vehicles. But as more drivers make the switch, states across the country face a drop in gas tax revenue, says Michael Manville, professor and chair of the Department of Urban Planning at UCLA.
The purchasing power of the fuel tax, which is the main way that we finance transportation infrastructure, has been steadily declining.
Caltrans says right now about 80% of California's highway and road repairs are funded by the gas tax. But analysts say that revenue could drop by some $5 billion in a decade if the state meets its climate goals. Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order in 2020 requiring all new passenger vehicles sold in California to be zero emission by 2035.
We have a lot more electric cars, we have a lot more hybrid cars, and just the typical new car just gets better gas mileage.
Now the state is considering something called the California Road Charge, as Caltrans explains in a video.
If you drive a new electric sedan or an old but faithful minivan, you pay for the number of miles you drive. California is studying road charge as a tool that might replace the gas tax. Because as we move toward a zero-emission future, the gas tax won't last forever.
Caltrans conducted a California road charge pilot last year and is currently studying the results. It tracked how much people drove each month through 3 reporting methods: plug-in devices, vehicle telematics, and photographed odometers. It charged 2.5 cents per mile for passenger vehicles. But some say a per-mile road charge is not fair. Writing to Governor Gavin Newsom in 2021, then Senate Republican leader Scott Wilkes said, in part, as long as we fail to build housing, inadequate supplies to house our workforce near their jobs, then the working poor are still going to be paying far more in vehicle miles traveled fees than their wealthy counterparts. This is fundamentally unfair and targets those who can least afford to pay the fee. The bill passed and Newsom signed it. But whether a road charge system ultimately replaces California's gas tax is still in question and would be years away.
I could be wrong, but I'm not sure this is coming down the pike anytime soon.
Caltrans plans on releasing a final report from the pilot program later this year.
All right, as we learned through our research today, other states are also trying this road charge as well, too. It's not just California.
Yeah, that's right. In Utah, for example, drivers of electric vehicles can either pay a flat annual fee of about $140 or opt into the Utah Road Usage Charge program instead, paying 1.11 cents per mile, but no more than the cost of that flat annual fee. So if you drive less, you pay less. And in Utah, they offer 2 mileage reporting options, one with telematics. The vehicle automatically records and reports mileage data. And the other method, customers take a picture of their odometer every 3 months using a mobile device. Neither option involves sharing location data, the state says. And in Hawaii's road charge program launching in 2028, odometers will be read at annual vehicle inspections.
Meanwhile, for years, people in Lodi in need of an ambulance have had to wait for help to come from Stockton. Now that wait is getting much shorter.
ABC 10's Gabriel Porras visited the news station and tells us about the work underway to get people even more life-saving help.
Traffic and red lights are a part of life, but in an emergency, any delay could be deadly.
Seconds count. Brain death begins, minutes after a cardiac event, and seconds are important.
And there are so many seconds that Lodi's Deputy Fire Chief Tim Ortega wishes he could get back in the more than 20 years that AMR has been the area's main ambulance company.
Traffic happens. Unfortunately, we've had to wait for ambulances too at times. So with their deployment station down in Stockton, there would be times where they had shift change and there may not be an ambulance here in town.
But not anymore.
This location is taking about 13 miles of drive time from Stockton up here. We're deploying 4 ambulances 24/7.
The new station is already open and being used 24/7, But look at all this empty space right behind it. AMR officials say it was left like that for a reason.
We have the ability to stage ambulances or fire apparatus. We have a large enough area if we had to land a medical helicopter.
And we know for a fact that it's probably going to save lives.
Deputy Chief Ortegal's firefighters are also working on another way to try to save more lives.
So currently, Lodi Fire Department is a BLS agency. It's oxygen. We could do splinting, blood control. We have received approval to go advanced life support, just that higher level of care. You're bringing that emergency room to the patient.
Which means even more life-saving medical help, potentially right in your neighborhood.
We're heading upwards. The trend is upward. We're doing everything we can to decrease response times, improve patient care at every level.
In Lodi, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Yeah, that is encouraging. Gabe, thank you.
Well, now let's change gears and bring in Monica on this first day of spring to see what we can expect for tonight.
Oh, it's an exciting time. Spring is here. Spring has sprung. We're here for it.
I know. All the colors outside, too. It's looking so fantastic, and everything's so green as well, with a lot of rain that we've seen over the course of March. Now, our weather impact headlines we're going to continue to follow. Just a bit of cloud cover streaming in for tonight and tomorrow. A brief light shower possible. Most of us are going to be dry into our Friday. And then looking ahead, first 80s just around the corner for the year. We haven't seen that since late October last year. So kind of checking in with the water year so far. We are heading into that drier and warmer period. Almost everybody a little bit behind here in terms of our water year so far for downtown Sacramento, Sacramento Executive, Stockton, and Modesto. Sheer numbers looking pretty good. It's just we need a little bit more here to take us through the rest of the year. And as we head through April, May, and June, things start to drop off with average precipitation. Conversely, our average temperatures start to go up. So those average highs start to get warmer and warmer. It's that time of year that we start to dry out and warm up. And that's what we're looking ahead to for the rest of the couple of months. Spring weather, our 80 to 82 degree temperatures, that's going to be the warmest that we've seen since last year, October 27th. And they're in the forecast for those low 80s Monday and Tuesday of next week. So day by day, we're kind of getting warmer and warmer. Highs for today in the mid 60s throughout the valley, 50s for the foothills, and 40s up top for the Sierra. We're going to be kind of status quo into our Friday forecast before we see a bigger jump this weekend. Big Mountain Backyard right now, ample sunshine, temperatures holding in the mid 60s. Tahoe right now at 45 degrees. Now, we've got a very zonal pattern. So what this means is there's not a real big push of seeing a plunge of that cooler air or the precipitation. Most of that's going to hang in the Pacific Northwest, but will be brushed with the tail end of that weather system. So it kind of looks like this. Throughout the day, we'll just be tracking a slight chance for some showers drifting through the forecast. But overall, we're going to be looking at this high pressure ridge, a sinking warming air storm track to the north of us, and we dig out of those unseasonably cool temperatures and we dig deep into above normal territory by Monday and Tuesday. And then just like that, it is spring after all. We will flip-flop back to cooler and showery weather. Highs, though, for tomorrow in the 40s, 50s, and low 60s for the foothills. Across the coast, highs are going to be in the low to mid 60s, upper 60s as we edge inland for Rio Vista, Antioch, Tracy, Vacaville, and Fairfield. Beautiful in wine country. Napa 66 for tomorrow for that Friday forecast. Mid to upper 60s throughout the valley after morning lows in the 40s. And again, largely a dry forecast for us, just a few sprinkles here and there for our Friday outlook. For the first weekend of spring, it's looking lovely and much warmer. By next week, the foothills near 80. Slight chance of a light shower passing through for tomorrow. Then it's all about the abundant sunshine this weekend. Highs in the low to mid 70s. Next week, we kick it off with highs in the 80s. But again, as I mentioned, it is spring, and we're right back in the 60s with a chance of rain by the following weekend.
You get a little bit of everything this time of year, don't you? It's like a roller coaster.
It is. Just hang on. Hang on tight on that spring roller coaster. Sounds good. Monica, thank you.
The telephone has drastically transformed since it was invented, and there's one place that chronicles its evolution.
Hello, John Bartel here, making a little pit stop at the Roseville Telephone Museum.
In 1876, Alexander Graham Bell made history by making the world's first phone call, as seen here in this historical reenactment from the AT&T archive.
Mr. Watson, come here. I want you.
Though several inventors were working on voice transmission technology, it was Alexander Bell's phone patent that paved the way for modern, sophisticated phones of the future.
Oh man, look at that hip. He's making that hip action.
He dances and everything.
Well, Alexander Bell probably didn't foresee the king of rock and roll dancing on his invention, but as it happens, this is one of the many advancements in voice transmission that you'll see at the Roseville Telephone Museum.
This bottom row here, the trend line.
I remember this at Grandma's house, yeah.
Well, when it comes to odd telephone history, museum docent Dan Ross Kelly is your man.
Is that an ashtray on there?
There is an ashtray on there. A lot more people smoked in 1957 than they do now, and so they found the need to have an ashtray on your phone. That way you didn't have to move around very much.
Dan says in the beginning, phone companies provided customers with both the service and the phones, and they were a bit rudimentary and battery powered.
Just take it off the hook, you crank the handle, that is going to ring the bell at the operator, and then the operator will connect you to who you want to talk to.
Early phones were a bit hard to hear, requiring people to yell in the microphone, which led to a disgusting problem with public phones.
So the mouthpiece, called the spit catcher in some cases, would then be considered potentially a hazard to one's health.
Not only was the mouthpiece full of saliva, but they were also expensive for customers and profitable for phone companies, especially payphones.
They were bringing in close to $500,000 a month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
In the early days, payphone companies had monopolies on the market, controlling rates and types of phones people could talk on. That all changed, though, when the Telecommunication Act of 1996 happened.
They really got creative with phones.
Oh, they did. They did. After deregulation and customers were allowed to buy their own phones and plug them in to use them, that's when they started coming up with things like this.
Novelty phones were popular in the 1990s and 2000s, and with these new phones came new advancements in telephone transmission lines.
Miles and miles and miles, because every house would have to have a physical connection until they came up with fiber optic. This is fiber optic.
Fiber optic cables changed the industry again, leading to faster internet, broader use of Wi-Fi, and more cell phones, and eventually the end of Alexander Bell's landline telephone.
To know the way your ancestors did it is, to me, it's very special.
From the Roseville Telephone Museum, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the back roads.
We are told a first-of-its-kind festival is coming to Napa.
And it's all centered around modern media, so think podcasts, social media, and more. ABC10's Marcus Allen is live with the creators in Sacramento this morning to tell us more about the event. Hey, Mark, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Shout out to the swanky Rumors Lounge here at the Citizen Hotel. They have made the long journey from Vacaville to talk about it. So, Farron, Juliana, introduce yourselves and talk about how this epic event began.
Yes, I'm the co-founder of Napa Valley Streamfest. I'm Farron.
Hi, I'm Juliana, also the co-founder of Napa Valley Streamfest.
Yes, we created this out of necessity. We took our own project out on the festival circuit and had a 30-minute proof of concept and just didn't really fit in the mold of traditional film festivals or TV festivals. And today we watch so many things from YouTube videos and TikTok videos to, your series and podcasts. And so why is there not a festival that has all that? So we decided to create one.
What's wild, a year ago this was a concept, and then recently you contacted me to say, like, the slots are full, but not just full, you have some of the most epic, famous creators globally.
Yeah, from social content creators like Heather Shaw or Adam Rose, Blue Cardigan Guy, to A-listers like Jason Segel, Meredith Hagner, to NBA stars like Baron Davis or NFL, RK Russell. We sort of have a little bit of everything for everyone.
Yeah, let's talk about this Jason Segel tribute. That's a huge get. He's going to be here.
I'm so excited. He's been one of my favorites. Shrinking is the best show. If you're not watching that, you need to be watching Shrinking. But we are awarding him with the best TV performance of the year, so we're excited to have him. And then Meredith Hagner, too, if you watch Bad Monkey or You're Cordially Invited. She was just in that. She's amazing and hilarious as well, too. So we're excited to honor them on Saturday night. You can buy a day pass to come see them. You can do the 2-day pass or our 4-day VIP pass.
Yeah, Meredith, I just saw her in Vacation Friends as played John Cena's wife in that. Very funny. All right, so I'm a big fan of Adam Rose. This is a guy that just does double takes at things, but all kinds of creators, and we're talking short form like that, TikTok, and a major motion picture that just won big honors in your festival.
Yes, The Baltimoreans, which is the Duplass Brothers Productions' new film. Jay Duplass directed. He hasn't directed in like 15 years, so it's a big win for him. He just won the Audience Award at South by Southwest. It's getting rave reviews. We will be playing it April 25th at Uptown Theater in Napa. The Baltimoreans, Michael Strassner, Jay Duplass, Mel Essling will all be in attendance.
This is how I knew it was huge. Like, I was on the Warner Brothers lot, and people were coming up to me going, hey, you're from Northern California, right? Are you a part of this Stream Fest? And that's what I knew this thing is going to be huge. So 50% off right now. Where do we get tickets?
Today only, we're offering 50% off our 2-day pass. Normally $250, still a great deal. Only $125 today if you buy in the next 24 hours.
All right, there you go. I'm going to link all that to abc10.com. Back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you. Wow, that's a lot of big names there. All right, thank you, ladies. Good luck.
And thanks for watching ABC10 Plus tonight. We're here 24/7 on the free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Laura Painter. Take care. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching ABC10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention base sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.
ABC10 Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
We're planning for those changes. Stay fire ready.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
It very much is an active investigation.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. ABC10 Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Our free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app has so much to offer. Get your news live and on demand 24/7 so you can watch the news when you want. There's breaking news, extended forecast, and so much more. We have everything you need to get through your day and ready for the weekend. We've got you covered on money-saving tips, travel, entertainment, and sports. Download the free ABC10 Plus app on your smart TV and popular streaming devices like Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and more. ABC10. We stand for you 24/7.
We're in day one of a weather impact alert. This is for rain, for snow, and for wind.
Be flood ready and expect major mountain impacts.
It's that snow-rain mix that drivers have been dealing with here.
We're already seeing the impact of the storm.
We're planning for those changes.
Be prepared for treacherous road conditions.
Stay fire ready.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on ABC10 Plus.